You're surrounded by people, yet something still feels painfully empty. You smile because everyone else is smiling. Your phone says hundreds of people noticed you, but somehow, none of them really see you. So why can loneliness exist in a room full of people? At first, it seems impossible. You're not physically alone, yet you somehow feel emotionally invisible. That empty feeling has a hidden cause, and it's probably not what you think. Remember when one good friend felt like enough? Back then, connection felt effortless. Somewhere along the way, something changed. Your contact list became longer, but your world somehow became quieter. The more connected you became, the less understood you started to feel. Your brain keeps searching for something it can't find. Everyone else's life suddenly looks happier than yours. Without realizing it, you begin comparing. Comparison slowly replaces connection. People become profiles instead of people. So you post your happiest moment. The likes arrive almost instantly. For a second, it feels good. Then the feeling quietly fades away. So your brain asks for another hit, another notification, another scroll, another search. But the empty chair never disappears, because something deeper is still missing. What is your brain actually searching for? The answer isn't more attention. It's something far more human, and we're only beginning to uncover it. Scientists eventually discovered something surprising about loneliness. Your brain doesn't count people. It measures something much more important. It measures emotional connection. Without that connection, numbers mean almost nothing. You can laugh all day, without anyone seeing what's underneath. Sometimes the happiest face hides the deepest loneliness, because people only know the version you show them, and that invisible distance slowly grows. So why don't we simply tell people how we feel? Because your brain sees vulnerability as a risk. It tries to protect you from rejection, but protection can quietly become isolation, and isolation slowly becomes loneliness. That's when your phone becomes the easier choice. Scrolling asks nothing from you. Real conversations do. One gives instant comfort. The other requires courage. Your brain naturally chooses the easier path, until comfort quietly becomes a habit that feels safe, but never truly satisfying. Something inside still feels missing, because attention isn't the same as connection. Connection begins where honesty begins, and honesty always feels risky, but every real relationship starts with that risk. That's something social media can never replace. So maybe loneliness isn't asking for more people. Maybe it's asking for one real person, someone who sees beyond the smile. And that's where the story takes an unexpected turn. The biggest surprise is that loneliness doesn't begin outside of you. It often begins with the walls you build inside yourself. Walls that once protected you can quietly become a prison, and nobody realizes you're trapped inside, not even the people standing right beside you. Because invisible walls are the hardest to see, but every wall can crack. Sometimes, it starts with one honest sentence. Not a perfect sentence, just a real one. Because being heard feels different from being judged, and that's when something changes inside the brain. Safety slowly replaces survival mode. The walls no longer need to stay standing. Neither does the distance between you. For the first time, the notification can wait, because something more important has your attention. Real connection doesn't demand perfection. It only asks for honesty, and honesty changes everything. Even the empty chair starts meaning something different. It no longer represents loneliness. It represents a place waiting for someone real. Notice something interesting? The room never changed. The people never changed. The only thing that changed was the connection. Loneliness was never asking for more notifications. It was asking for one safe conversation. One moment where you didn't have to pretend. Maybe that's what we've been searching for all along. And the final piece of the puzzle is still waiting. The answer was never hidden inside your phone. It was waiting somewhere much quieter. Inside a real conversation. A conversation that feels a little uncomfortable. Because honesty usually does. But honesty is where loneliness begins to lose its power. For the first time, someone truly listens. Nothing magical happened. He simply stopped pretending. Look carefully. The room hasn't changed at all. Neither have the people inside it. Only one thing became different. The empty chair is finally filled. Not because more people arrived, but because one person truly stayed. Real connection doesn't compete with notifications. It quietly replaces them. This is what your brain was searching for all along. Not attention, not popularity, but understanding. Someone who knows the real version of you. Someone who sees beyond your highlights, beyond your filtered moments, beyond the version you perform for everyone else. Sometimes, silence shared with the right person says more than 1,000 messages. Maybe loneliness was never asking for a bigger audience. Maybe it was asking for one place where you could stop pretending. The people around you may not change, but the way you connect with them can. So let me ask